Jim Ross was here for this match.
Right, and this is a really frustrating thing for me. Probably the only thing that I'm going to complain much about on Raw as a whole. JR only called this one match, and he was doing a great job. In fact, he called Sheamus a walking slobber knocker, which was another big laugh for me tonight during the 3-hour Raw. I thought that was the best description of Sheamus I had ever heard in my life. So the fact that they sent JR to the back after calling this one match, not only is that disappointing to me as a fan of good old JR, but it's also disappointing for the fact that it's the first hour, which a lot of people probably didn't set their DVR for or tune in to see. So if you missed it, you're out of luck, because he wasn't on the show again after that.
Yeah, he gets bumped for tout.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but what are you going to do?
Well, JR's using to take that fucking in the ass, so.
Yeah, and JR even said on his blog that the only way he's ever going to quit is when they write his eulogy, so he'll take as much abuse as they can heap out, because he loves wrestling that much.
Hell, don't give him that opportunity. They'll write you 3 or 4 eulogies.
Yeah, knowing WWE, they just might. But anyway, Kev, let's move on to the next segment.
Let's see. Next segment we had was, we got highlights from the fans via tout about the AJ and Daniel Bryan wedding, and most of that was negative. Then we finally get Charlie Sheen, who can't even bother to be there live, or I'm pretty sure WWE just neglected to fly him in. He can't even be there live via satellite.
If I may interject for a second, it was originally supposed to be social media on Twitter. He was not even supposed to be on Skype. He was supposed to tweet live updates.
Well, the original plan was he was supposed to be there live, but he was supposed to be sharing his thoughts at Raw with his 8 million followers on Twitter. And that was a great plan.
No, that wasn't my understanding of it. It was that he would be watching from his mansion and tweeting updates on what he thought of Raw while he was watching. So,
well, whatever the case was, that was a great plan until Sheen up and decided 2 weeks ago he was deleting his Twitter account.
Yeah, so apparently the compromise they made was that he would still be on the show via Skype to make up for the fact that he no longer had a Twitter account, which in one way is good because it actually got Sheen on the show, and in another way is not so good because, like I said, there was a lot of pausing and lagging from his video, so you'd think they could have actually done it via satellite.
Yeah, no shit. I mean, hell, pretend it's Skype.
You could put a Skype logo up on the screen and do a satellite feed, and people would actually be like, wow, Skype is awesome. I didn't know the video looked this good.
Yeah, and here's the problem. Our Skype video feeds with each other looked way better than what WWE had set up. What in the fuck?
Yeah, maybe the bandwidth in St. Louis wasn't so good.
We were supposed to have this wedding of AJ and Daniel Bryan, and so we have this wedding. She has no bridesmaids. He has no best man, no groomsmen, no guest, really.
Wait a minute. There was groomsmen in back with them, though. What the hell?
Why are they not in the ring?
Made it to the ring for the actual wedding.
Yeah.
You had a dozen goofs in white suits in back with them.
It's a wedding.
And then nobody's in the ring with them.
It's a wedding. And at my wedding, I would like to have a dozen of goofs standing there, too. Okay? Get your life. Anyways, so we have this wedding, and we have Reverend Slick out there, and he goes to basically about to go take us to church, and I was not ready for the church sermon already. And we get to this whole wedding thing. I'm thinking we're just going to have yes, 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 I do, and get on about our lives. No. AJ says, I'm saying yes to another man. Music hits. It's Vince McMahon. And everybody's like...
I'm spewing beer all over my TV screen at this point, by the way.
Everybody's just like, no. And then Vince is like, hold up. This was for a business act. You know, she's going to be the new general manager. So basically, she's now the new general manager of Raw, right? Or she's both?
Permanent general manager of Monday Night Raw. That is correct.
Okay. And then she walks skips out on Daniel Bryan, and he's left to tear up the freaking ring, and now he's snapping his fucking mind because this whole storyline has drove him to the fucking edge. Like, you know what? Like I told you earlier, I was really not pissed by this because I've been telling you all for weeks that WWE will find some way to fuck this storyline up. And, well, here we go. They really just jumped the shark on this. Like, okay, yeah, her angle, whatever, it might have been the hottest thing, but to just make her general manager, like, really? It's starting to piss me off to no end of where I'm like, okay, you wasted my time with this fucking wedding, or you could have just made her general manager without a wedding, and then you have all these girls in the back. Now, they advertise Kelly returning to be on Raw last night. I don't know if Kelly got beat up by El Dandy or something, but did not see Kelly. Did not see any of the divas. Layla was backstage with AJ while she's getting ready for her wedding, and I'm like, why are they even talking? Because she has no bridesmaids. And then we get Lita coming out there doing 2 moves on Heath Slater, and then Trish Stratus has this brief backstage moment, and it's just like, is this really what the Divas division has come to? Of, wow, like, no one gives a fuck if you're here. And why, I just puzzled by this whole general manager thing. Like, so we're going to have her as general manager so she can still do this more psychological bullshit she's been doing that they've been building up for the past 2 months. She's been kicking off Raw, ending Raw. She's had Kane involved in this, and then she had CM Punk involved in this, and now Daniel Bryan's a snap and lost his mind. Like, this is just getting out of hand.
Oh, I just wanted to test out this tout thing. I've been hearing so much about it over the last couple of weeks. So I decided to tout my introduction tonight.
Yeah, well, you might as well get in the habit of touting things now because you're going to be seeing it every week for at least an hour, if not more, on Raw because they've got time to fill now, and they did a pretty good job of filling it this week, but the weeks to come are going to be the real test.
Yeah, I mean, all it takes to get on Raw is some guy going, like, really? Come on. Really?
Well, what do you expect? They only give people 15 seconds to say what they think or do what they want, and one thing leads to another, and you're going to get videos like that.
I guess. I mean, I'm also expecting Midnight Rose to make an appearance on Raw. That would be epic.
Well, the chances are, if they see anybody wearing a lucha mask, they're probably not going to play their tout because they're going to figure they're just trying to promote themselves at Raw's expense.
True. That's definitely true, but, it's one of those things where, I don't know, they invested so much money into the program that, it's bound to hopefully they think it will pay off or to have them connect more with the fans.
Yeah, hopefully it will provide that interactivity that they've all been talking about. And speaking of interactivity, the AngryMarks.com/chat is always active when we have a live broadcast on the Angry Marks Podcast Network. In the chat room right now, Dag Dog, King J, Mr. Custer, Seth Draken, you're in there, Peter, I'm in there, Producer Kev is in there, Atlas Security is in there, and our newest member of the AMP Nation, hailing from Austria, his name is Austria. Welcome to the chat. It's like 4 a.m. there, but he still joins us for live shows, and boy do we appreciate that. That's hustle, loyalty, and dedication without John Cena right there.
I highly enjoyed this show. I don't see how anyone could dislike this show, and anyone who disliked this show just is no longer a wrestling fan, and it's just a critic and a wannabe Dave Meltzer, Brian Alvarez type.
I see. Well, I very much enjoyed the show. At one point, during the show, I had to pull out my Facebook page and just update it with feeling like a kid again. #Raw1000. Yeah, I thought it was a real good show. I enjoyed the heck out of it. I found myself smiling a lot. I found myself giggling a lot. I found myself yelling in the other room, "Hey, Cameron, run in here quick. You got to see this." It was a fun show.
Set up a lot of stuff for the future. So.
Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, it says there, it actually set up their main storylines for the next almost year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at least going into WrestleMania, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty great. I really liked the opening montage. They had too much new stuff in there. They could have put a little more older stuff, but they did have some awesome stuff in there.
I found myself at one point when they had the whole scene of Eddie and there were some really heartstring type things right there that they were tugging at. I found myself getting a little misty there for a minute, but I pulled it together. So,
what did you think of it, sir?
I really like the opening with DX with bringing Road Dogg and Billy and X-Pac back. I really enjoyed it. You could see the fans were ready for it. They knew that they were going to be there. So, and you know what? With the way they do the tag teams, just bring Road Dogg and Billy Gunn back as the Outlaws and give them a run. They can probably still go.
Right, they'd be more entertaining than the tag teams they have.
Yeah, and they didn't beat the shit out of Shawn and Hunter like they said in those kids in TNA all those years ago.
Remember when they came to San Antonio to kick their ass? And they had a big ass crowd, but they came on a different day.
Yeah,
they were doing it like it was like tape delayed or something. It was going to air on Impact on like Thursday, and so they said like Thursday, but they had already come like a day before or something.
I think it was on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna do?
Yeah. But Billy actually looked pretty much the same. I mean, maybe a little heavier, but I mean, he still looked like he was the same. X-Pac and Road Dogg, they had a little bit of a beer belly going.
I don't know if you did this intentionally or not, but you said we get 1,000 clips from Raw, and this past week there was Raw 1000 episode. And I joined Killer Kev and Stevie J on the Raw reaction earlier this week, talking about the biggest episode of Monday Night Raw ever. And I want to get your opinion. How did you feel about Raw 1000?
Okay. I was totally against watching it. I didn't want to. I was like, this is going to be some BS. It's going to be a hot damn mess. And I'd be done with watching Raw altogether. But I really enjoyed the show. We finally got to see Mae Young's son. That was a highlight. Because me and Sierra have been, like, putting milk cartons out for this boy. Like, did they give him up for adoption? What did they do with him? But she still has her son. And he's fully grown.
He's a big hand.
Yeah, he is. He's definitely Mark Henry's son. The DX segment was good. I did enjoy that part.
Segment. I loved it.
And of course, I loved the 30 seconds I got to see of Layla. And she even did a booty pop during those 30 seconds. So that was good.
Yes.
Naomi and Cameron got new outfits, and my God. Booty shorts is the way to go. Booty shorts is the way to go.
I'm sorry, but that whole segment with Brodus Clay and Jack Swagger, it really went so quick, I forgot they were on the show.
All I saw was booty popping and all that stuff, and I was like, okay. And then they went all extra and brought out that person I'm not even going to mention by name. Then we went on later in the night, got the reappearance of Lita, the APA. Can I hire them to just come out there and hurt people who I don't need to see on television?
I just want Lita. Lita and... who else was it? Besides Lita and Layla on Raw, man, that was just amazing. And to cap it off, Stephanie McMahon, damn, she looks good.
See, she's been working out with Hunter and a personal trainer to get in the best shape of her life, and damn, she looked good.
Mm-hmm. And just truthfully speaking, she does look fantastic figure-wise after even popping out 3 babies.
Oh yeah, definitely.